to seeing more accomplished.
What would you like to see more accomplished?
Well, for example, on the settlement issue, settlements is illegal. They should, support that resolution. There are resolutions related to UNRWA. They should vote in favor of all of them. They abstain only in one resolution. Resolutions related to applicability of the Fourth Geneva Convention, which is another, a principled piece of international law that they should do that. I'm just giving you just examples of that. And I was involved personally in extensive discussions with my colleagues in the Foreign Ministry in Ottawa. And I am happy that although it is a slow process, but voting in favor of the right to self-determination from no to yes is very significant, very positive. We appreciate that, but still we have a lot more to do.
There are those who are saying that, who are cynical about it, saying that the decision is Canada's running for a Security Council seat. Their support for Israel is something that hurt them in the last election when they lost. To what do you attribute the change in stance when it comes to self-determination?
If you look on the web page of the Canadian Foreign Ministry, one of the most important principles that they promote is the right of people to self-determination. So it doesn't make sense for them to promote that as a very important principle to them and to deny it to the Palestinian people. So I think that they are now being congruent with what they believe, and we are happy that they are doing that. And as I said, we will continue the discussion with them to do more. I think, let me just also say for those in the Israeli side, especially some elements of the media, when in a program resolution related, for example, to the division of Palestinian rights, some change of voting, they hail it as a huge accomplishment. What would they say about the shift of Canada from voting no to voting yes? I'm interested to see the reaction in the Israeli media.
I'm interested in your reaction. Were you aware that was coming? Were you surprised?
I've been personally involved for several years in that exercise, so I'm very familiar of that process. It was very slow, but I am delighted that that happened.
But you knew it was coming.
I did not know exactly when, but I am happy that it did. And many, brave Canadian diplomats and officials were unable to explain that Canada should not support the right to self-determination of the Palestinian people.
There is another big vote. Canada's getting a lot of pressure on another big vote recurring on Jerusalem, which is coming up in, I think, January 2020. One of the.
I think Canada played a positive role when we went to the General Assembly, Uniting for Peace, after the veto on the resolution on Jerusalem, after the change of the Trump administration policy. They abstained, and then that was noticeable as a step in the right direction. Yes?
A quick question. Hello.
Hello.
Any reaction to the U.S. Middle East peace plan? Is it dead in the water? Is it not circulating? Have you been told anything about it?
I haven't been told, and you are asking the wrong person. But, if you were following my statement in the Security Council, I argued against this fallacious position by the Israeli representative, and often the support from the U.S. administration, that that the Security Council has nothing except focusing on Israel. It's biased. It's one-sided. I gave the statistics. During the last 10 years, 636 resolutions were adopted in the Security Council, only 2 on Israel-Palestine. And more than 50% of the resolutions adopted during the last 10 years were under Chapter 7 meaning enforceable, by using measures, whether sanctions or otherwise. Not a single one was used in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So therefore, the assumptions of that the Security Council is fixated with the question of Palestine and the conflict, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, is not true. Now, the General Assembly is shouldering its responsibility as it should by defending not only its position and the content of the resolutions that they adopt, but they also defend Security Council resolution, while the Security Council itself is not implementing its resolutions as they relate to us. And I hope that you can publicize this piece of statistics to the benefit of members of the Security Council and to the benefit of the media and those who follow the subject.
And just one bigger question on violence in the Gaza Strip. Been a lot of violence recently. Do you expect things to get worse, better in the new year?
Well, I see that if you go and visit the Gaza Strip,
Which I did.
you see a massive tragedy beyond description. So that the people, the 2 million who live in prison, you cannot blame them for the vicious attacks and the bombardment and the airstrikes and the massive number of killed and injured over these years by Israel to blame them for these events. Why doesn't Israel, get off our back? Why don't we have an international UN forces to come and to be between us and them so that to make sure nobody's firing at anyone else? But you cannot imprison people and deprive them of basic elements of life and expect them to continue to be quiet. And I'm saying peacefully. We condemn the killing of civilians from all sides, innocent civilians. There is no justification. And I challenge the Israeli ambassador in the Security Council more than once. Can you repeat what I am repeating by condemning the killing of innocent civilians regardless of from any side? He never repeated that. And I am in the record saying that, and I need to go to a meeting.
Can I have a very quick question? Are you, since you were working with these diplomats leading up to self-determination, are you working with them leading up to the Jerusalem vote?
I said that discussion with them is continuing. It will never stop, as with anybody else, regarding the voting record of Canada, which on all issues.
Do you feel that the